Hi traders, welcome to this weekly Forex recap. We're going to take a look here at the Euro dollar, pound USD, dollar yen, and the AUDUSD. We had some great momentum last week. We're going to take a look at those charts in just a second. Be aware that this video is shown to a global audience but may not be suitable for everyone. Please take a look at this link, select your country of residence, and contact an appropriate entity to find out more about those conditions and details. Also, please be aware that trading for exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk and may not be suitable for everyone. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. Please also be aware of this disclaimer, and when continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer. Alright, I want to start with the euro dollar. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see a breakout, and this is a pretty big breakout because if you look at the daily and the weekly chart, you'll see that this trend line is actually a long-term resistance trend line, and we see a pretty strong weekly candle now above it. So that is obviously broken, and we can see that price is towering above it as we speak here. So that's a bullish signal. Obviously, we had double bottom already a while ago. Price then made a move up, a consolidation, and now it's moving up again. So from that point of view, I think price has some space at least to retest the resistance levels within this consolidation here, as you can see, around 115 and 117. Those, I think, are the next levels that could certainly stop price, because all in all, this is a consolidation after a strong down momentum. So I do expect momentum to continue downwards again, and there are two things that I'm looking for: either a break below the double bottom, that could be, of course, the starting moment of the downtrend continuation, or if price gets up to the resistance levels I just spoke about, and it could turn around and then start falling again to continue that downtrend. So for the moment, though, price is in this consolidation, and it has some space up to what I would consider higher time frame resistance. So considering last week's bullish candle, considering the fact that price has broken out of that resistance, I think that this is just a pause. Minus 272 target around 112, the psychological 112.50 level, indeed stopping price, as we talked about last week. I said that if price breaks above the smaller consolidation zone here, that there's a chance to go up to that 112, and it did nicely move pretty fast into that zone and then stop there. So yes, we had a good breakout of that consolidation zone, and we're getting a move up to that. But I think that this pause basically at the 272 target is just a retracement for more upside, and a move up to the minus 61.8 target, which is is about 115.35 to be precise. And that, of course, is very near and in that zone of resistance of the weekly chart. So what I'm expecting price is maybe a bit of a pullback to go up to the targets, make a bull flag at the 272 target, and make one more dash up to that target. That's what I'm expecting for the moment. And you can see that price stopped at this fib, but I think we'll have a bit deeper retracement. We had a good momentum, but you can see that price is turning around at the bigger daily 272 target, right, that I talked about. So from that point of view, if you look at the hourly, what I'm expecting is price to make kind of a zigzag formation like this and fall to the 38.2 fib, the 50, or the 61.8 fib. Any of these, I think, could be turning spots for upside. So that's my my vision here for my trading plan here, is to look for bounces at these fibs for upside. That could be an interesting move up to, for this week, perhaps the minus 272 target at 113.70. I don't think that price will get to the 115 this week, but maybe later this month it could. Also, the 61.8 fib here is equal to these broken tops. Of course, they become now support as well, so that would be an extra confluence. And if price breaks above the 112.15, that could be the breakout for upside. I am expecting a bigger zigzag like this down to these fibs and then a turnaround. But if it doesn't make that red zigzag here and instead breaks above 112.50, well, then there could be that breakout to 113.70 without making a deeper retracement to the fibs. Before I show you the other pairs, make sure to take a look at this lineup. We got great webinars, I think, as always, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have 3 live trading room kind of webinars and recaps and setup discussions. Wednesday evening and Thursday evening, we're focused on education. Nenad takes a look at Q&A of the lessons 5 to 10 of his price action trading school. And Thursday, we take a look at how to scale out as a second part of this pro learning lab. All right, looking at the cable here, pound USD daily chart, obviously here too strong momentum to the downside, but we are seeing indeed, as anticipated, the correction happening and price indeed moving up to that 38.2 fib retracement level and stopping almost directly at that level. And that was a strong bouncing spot. But will that be the turning spot for a continuation of the downtrend? Or will price retrace deeper to the 50 fib and trendline confluence before moving strongly to the downside? So that's the question. I think that at this moment, actually, a deeper retracement before making the downtrend continuation seems more likely at this point. Although if price, of course, breaks below support like this, then that would be a breakout as well. And that would, of course, mean a downtrend continuation, right? And this was a break pullback continuation. For the moment, though, I am expecting actually a move up to that 50 fib and a bounce off that 50 fib. If price breaks above the 50, well then the bearish scenario is, the bearish trend is certainly changing. The market structure is not bearish anymore, at least, and these fibs could still be resistance though. If it stops at the 50 and turns around as I expect, then I would expect the downtrend to continue. For the moment though, when I'm zooming into the 4-hour chart, it seems like we could see an enhanced or larger correction like this up to that 50 fib and the 272 target, and that this is probably just going to expand to that resistance fib there. And from that point of view, just like the euro dollar, I wouldn't be surprised to see a dip down towards the fibs here and then a bounce up again. So these fibs, we already bounced off the 38.2 fib, but these three fibs too could be very good bouncing spots. So here too, there's a chance that price goes up and then falls down to those fibs. All right, that's, I think, one of the scenarios that seems very likely. But if price, just like the euro dollar, does break above the 38.2 fib without retracing deeper to these fibs, then there is a breakout, of course, scenario above 146.70, and there's a potential space up to 148.20 and 148.60. Right in there, with that blue zone there. There could still be some resistance here for a bigger zigzag, potentially. That's not something I will be looking to trade very intensively, but maybe if there's a good setup, I will still take it, but I'll still be rather looking for a deeper bounce to the upside. All right, moving on to the dollar yen. We can see prices retesting support levels, but there's strong momentum to the downside. So this is looking like a descending wedge. We got lower highs and flat bottoms. So from that point of view, as long as price stays below resistance, I do think that there's going to be a break of this support at one point or another. And prices, I think, is now making a bit of retracement. But here, I think when it hits resistance, it will turn around and retest that bottom. It could bounce again, but then there's going to be a retest. And I think eventually we'll get the break of the bottom, considering that this is a descending wedge. Now, of course, if price unexpectedly would break resistance, then there could be these breakout trades to the upside that I might take a look at. For the moment, though, this is, I think, just a pullback and will hit resistance at probably one of these fibs. Let me draw a fib from here to here, like the 38, the 50, or 61, and then retest the bottom again. And last but not least, the Aussie stopped at the 61.8 fib, but didn't break support, and then actually used it to rally up to the 78.6 fib and then move down again. So we had, clear respects for these fibs, but also clear respect for the support level. So we're seeing an upward channel that is respecting the resistance fibs. And if you can see, of course, the weekly, first of all, actually the break, this is all about the break of the triangle and hook back to that triangle. But last week was a doji, so there's certainly indecision from that point of view. And that the downside still looks good because, of course, let's face it, we had a break of the triangle, and this could easily be a pullback to the fib, and this could be a continuation. But before that happens, I would like to see a break of this support trend line. I would like to see price kind of making a bounce here, showing some weakness, preferably show a higher low, turn around, and then break. And that could be an interesting potential for downtrend continuation on the Aussie. If the other thing happens, for instance, price moves up like this and then moves down and then starts to break that resistance, then it could be one more push up to the next resistance fib. All right, that's possible, but I prefer the downside because of the trend that is still down in the daily. If price does reach this resistance level, then it'll probably turn around again. But if it does break then above these tops, well, then it's not as bearish anymore, of course, as it looks at this moment. Okay, thanks traders for joining this this live video here, and hope to see you in the webinars this week. Make sure to take a look at Avon Markets content that's being delivered on the website and social media daily, and wish you all great trading. Cheers.